See, when they're coming out openly like this, and they're talking about pretty much the new financial system and how they can't keep up. They're trying to keep up. They're moving at a rapid pace to catch up with the technologies, etc. We've read so many documents like this, but they're all coming out one by one. Every single time it's a new piece of evidence, but it's not just for us. It's not really for us. It's to put out there to the other systems, the other system leaders, the bank leaders, that, hey, they're on board. That's why you're getting all these individuals coming out in the media talking about this openly now. They're letting them know we're on board. They're letting them know we're going to go with the flow now. But here's the thing. Another two things you got to pick up from this. Number one, why do they need to catch up? They were lazy. One, maybe they didn't want to accept the technology. That's two. So you have all of these different banks lagging behind, which means that this sudden change either is happening. Let's look at the catalyst. It's either happening because they realize they need the technology, which they just outright need it, whether they realize it or not. They just need it. Or two, an order came down from the top and said, listen, you all better get in line now. Right? Remember last year when the BIS, who else was it? It was the BIS, and maybe it was the IMF also. I believe also was AMFIF at one time. Remember we covered AMFIF a lot last year, when they were making all of these different statements about how banks were either going to adopt the DLT technologies or they were going to be left behind, right? And at the time, it was DLT plus, they were talking about DLT plus AI, right? Which is still that's what it's going to be. And you're going to have DLT, AI, and quantum computing all together. But nonetheless, the new financial system is coming. That's really what it is. The body of all of this is the new financial system. Simple as that. But I think that's around the time where they start letting these banks know, hey, next year, 2025, crypto is going to be unleashed. DLT technology is going to be unleashed. You better get ready. And now you see all of them coming out saying things like this. Now, this article is titled, Bank Technology Races to Keep Pace with the Speed of Today's Business. The technology. So they need to catch up. They're trying to catch up. It says bank technology races. So remember, I was saying that they're moving at a breakneck pace. I was saying that a lot. And now they're confirming what I was saying is true. You see that? You see? Why? Because this is about to happen and soon. When? I don't know exactly, but it's going to happen soon. Now, financial advice. When this happens, they have to grab a hold of. Did you see the video from yesterday? That was major because, see, that piece of the puzzle fits together with this. One, they have to do this quickly. Two, it has to be affordable. And there has to be no problems when it comes to integration. The only way you can do this quickly is if there's no problems. The only way you can do this quickly is if it's affordable. But let me read it. I'm going to read this a little bit to you, right? This is what it says. External pressures driving transformation. If it's an external pressure, it's a catalyst. So whatever technology is getting adopted, they already told us, DLT. Blockchain. Did you see the article where they were talking about blockchain? I have another one here. I think that might be it. Right. Oh, we'll get to that next. Just trust me. I got some potent stuff for you today. But let's begin here with this one. It says this, right? External pressures driving transformation. The acceleration of technological change has created significant external pressure. Significant. I told you they couldn't compete with us. Who's been putting pressure on them? One, they've been losing customers to money market funds. They can't compete with them. Well, they couldn't compete with them when it comes to annual percentage yield, different offerings of NBF. Let's just say NBFIs overall have been crushing the banks. Also, banks' lack of transparency, which is one of the reasons why you have all of these things happening negatively for the banks. Two, wastefulness. Also, that goes along with transparency and knowing where certain monies are allocated. So they've been just wasting money away. That DLT is going to solve that also, because now everything's going to be traced. And you'll probably there'll be increased numbers of authorizations you're going to need in order to make something happen, a transaction happen, although it'll probably happen with just QR code. We'll have a multitude of different authorization mechanisms in it. And only certain people can do certain things. I think that's what's going to happen. I do. I saw an article today where another banking person took money from people's accounts. Again, did you see that today? That's going to be stopped. Another thing, the people are going to demand it. But You have all of this that they need to incorporate all at once. They can only do it through DLT technology. DLT technology, smart contracts, and then you bring the AI in on top of that. That's just sprinkles on top of the cake. But let's keep going. So acceleration of technological change has created significant external pressure they're talking about is coming from DLT technology. Blockchain is cheaper, faster. Everybody likes it. It's popular. They can lend. They can make more capital with it. They can stake it. They can delegate it. Look how many different ways you can make money with legit DLT technology. And so that's where the pressure is coming from. People putting their money into Bitcoin instead of savings accounts. A lot of people have been doing that. People also been using gold also, but they're not going to talk about gold because the majority of the gold is controlled by banks. So they benefit from gold. As of right now, they don't control Bitcoin and crypto. That's why they're getting in, not just for the technology, but also to make massive amounts of value. So let's keep going. Pressure on financial institutions. Williams pointed to the changing distribution of financial services as a key driver. Yet I'll say this. They don't want, changing distribution of financial services. What does he mean by that? What's the distribution? What's this distribution that's happening? Right. NBFIs have been taking over. People have been keeping their money in money market funds, cash sweep accounts, crypto, wallets, stable coins. That's where everything is now being distributed. And I think, is this the one where he talks about, they talk about in one of these two articles, they're like the financial system can't be siloed anymore. What? Remember, we used to always use that word. Remember, the big banks used to talk like that. That's how you know the big banks have gotten to the smaller banks. The word came down from the top that this new financial system is going to happen now. There's no more waiting. They must adopt the technology. Also, that's another reason why you see this push for the ISO 20022. Feel how you want about it. We've already read it from the pros, what that actually means, the significance of it. We've read it from the BIS, read it from Volante Tech, a myriad of others. Payments.com spoke about it multiple times. Go on payments.com and type in ISO 20022. Read all those articles on it. They talk about the significance of it, but it goes right together with this advent of DLT technology, this coming wave of the deployment of DLT technology. Simply, everything goes all together right now. Period. They're looking to make a large amount of value off of it. They want to attempt to control it. We'll see if they win or not. It's either they're going to win or the regular people are going to win. Somebody's going to win. But I'm telling you right now, the big companies are moving heavily right now, powerfully. And all of this that you see right now with Bitcoin's price and crypto prices being, a little bit down and such like that, it's all a game. It's all a play. I'm telling you, it's a major play. And the big companies are licking their chops right now. Make no mistake about it. They know what's coming. They're telling you what's coming in all their interviews. We're reading them. That's why we've been going into certain articles more extensively here. Just bear with me one moment. Let's get back to this. So it says here, quote, a lot of times when we think about our delivery of payment products, look what he's talking about. Payment products. How can that alter in the next few years? I mean, they can be talking about AI. AI can only do so much. We've already seen it. They've already been employing a little bit of it. I say a little bit of it. They've employed AI, but it's the most basic entry-level AI that you can have. I mean, AI is going to advance majorly over the next few years. But the fact that they're using it already, they're not talking about that. So what is it that they could implement that's going to have this put this massive pressure on them that they're going to integrate, that's going to help them in all these various ways that they haven't been able to utilize before, that's getting unleashed this year? What is it? DLT technology, bank coin technology. We already saw a few banks talking about this last year, a little bit this year, right? And then the whole custody thing, that's the first step. Custody and stable coins, that's the first two steps. Let's keep going. I hope I'm not jumping around too much with my thoughts, but it's like I'm painting a picture. This is how I think. All of these are pieces to the puzzle I'm putting together. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but this is the path that I'm on. It says, quote, a lot of times when we think about our delivery of payment products, depository products, you're continuing to see them intertwined with technology. With our customers use, which our customers use, quote unquote. Wait a minute. See, this is why you got to pay close attention to what they're saying. Now, you tell me, am I tripping or am I seeing this correctly? So they're talking about having to get, they literally say bank technology is racing to keep up, to keep pace. Let me scroll up. There's a certain line, I think. Bear with me one moment as I search for this. Michael Haney described himself as a, quote, reformed banker, unquote, as head of product strategy at composable banking architecture provider Galileo Financial Technologies. We increasingly live in a world where we expect things to happen instantly, right? We push this is his quote, we push a button and there's a movie on the TV screen. Okay, we get that. He's talking about the quickness of payments and efficiency of things. Financial institutions are recognizing that technology strategy and business strategy can no longer be separated. There was a line here that summed up what I wanted to say. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Quote, when you realize how prevalent technology is in consumer choice and how, see that? Consumer choice. So if they haven't had the top technology, who has? It also means they've been losing customers because they lack this technology that customers have been requesting. So how can they catch up? What new technology are they going to adopt? Adopt. DLT. Simple as that. The Bankcoin movement, the golden age is coming, whether people like it or not, whether they're patient or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's coming. It's simple as that. This cannot be stopped. It's natural evolution of the financial system. And that wave of capital is going to blow people away. It's going to overtake them. There's going to be a lot of millionaires made. There's going to be a lot of regrets also. It is the way it is. It's always that way. No one can change it. It's always that way. But nonetheless, it is inevitable. Wait, I'm trying to find this line. My apologies. I know you're like, find it already. I'm trying. Let's see. They expect financial transactions to happen within the same immediacy as entertainment services, I suppose. No, they just need it to be better. What they're doing is they're trying to put the burden on the customer. Oh, the customer wants it. It's customers always want the best, but you as a company should always provide the best. That's how you keep business. That's why banks been losing business. Rapid customer flight makes perfect sense. If I go to your bakery and you give me stale baked goods, I'm not coming back to your store. Simple as that. There's a bunch of bakeries. I'm going to go somewhere else. But if you give me the best of the best, I promise I'm coming back every single time. Yep. And I'm going to leave a huge tip also. Same thing, the same energy as me coming back. I want to show my gratitude that you gave me the top product, but you give the customer the best of the best experience. Simple as that. Everything else will work like magic. So now, all right. So I couldn't find that line I was looking for here, but we're going to move on to this next article, because once again, they're telling some more, and it's not enough people are seeing this. This article is titled, Pay Nation launches crypto payment portal for B2B payments. But the whole Pay Nation part is not what's important here. See, this is why you got to read through this stuff. There's certain parts that are just, they can be generalized. They tell you generalized information that's potent. Wait, it says this. Wait, let me scroll up. My apologies. It looked like it went down a little bit. There was a part about Coinbase. Look, on this article, if you go here, it says cryptocurrency exchange. I found it. I was going to go off the top of my head. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase. They're not the only ones. We're going to start here. Coinbase said in October that a growing number of companies are using its Coinbase Prime to accept and custody crypto payments. And that's temporary. It's temporary. If it's not, they would have signed a long-term contract with Coinbase, but we've never heard of that. I've heard of all of this, and they keep on swapping out Coinbase for something else. The companies that specialize in crypto custody that are working with banks and institutions, those are who are going to get the long-term contracts. Then on top of that, it says a growing number, which means companies, this confirms, and we're going to see some more here, this confirms that companies are scrambling. Who's involved in crypto custody? And why is custody so big right now? Because custody is something you have to settle or figure out at the beginning of your financial journey. Who's going to hold this stuff? right? Companies like Ripple purchase custody, and companies are providing custody services right now. They're going to run wild. But after custody comes what? Implementation of the technology, utility. You don't have one for one contract in business that you're working with for custody, and then you have another one for B2B payments, and then you have another one for payroll. No, you do all that at one company. And that's why you see the bank coin companies like Ripple with XRP and XRPL, they offer everything. That was so smart. They offer stable coins now, custody now. Think about that. This is all a setup. They offer custody, bank stable coins, XRP. They can do payroll. They were one of the earliest to test that out. Offline QR code payments, the whole QR code payment thing, that's going to make a huge comeback. And now, when I say comeback, not as far as utilization, it was something that was hotly talked about in the past. It's going to be a hot thing to be used in the future. And why do we know that? Because they've come out with articles the last few months talking about it again. I haven't heard them talking about offline QR code payments for a long time. Then all of a sudden they start talking about it recently. That's when you know something's about to hit that cycle again, or it's about to be actuated. But listen to this quote here. Listen to this quote. This quote says, an increasing number of Fortune 500 companies are approaching Coinbase now to explore crypto payments. Approaching. They didn't say they had a deal. They didn't say they signed a contract. But just like they approached Coinbase, folks, what do? You got most of you run businesses, or you conduct some kind of business. What do you do when you're trying to find a good price and quality for a certain product? A lot of companies can offer it, right? But you call around. Hey, you ask them about price, you try to negotiate some deals. You get some samples, right? You just get some samples and you test out these different companies and warehouses, producers, whatever. And then once you test them out and you find out who's the best, or you discuss it with them, maybe you don't test it out. Maybe you discuss it with them and stuff like that. Whoever you like the best out of those interactions, then you go with them. That's what's happening here, right? So that's why, even though they say they're approaching Coinbase, pay attention to the very specific verbiage. It doesn't say they have a deal or partnership. And if they're approaching Coinbase, they are approaching others. I've never known companies just to go to one company and say, we want you, that's it. No, it doesn't work that way. We don't know if that one's the best, especially if we're at the beginning of this nascent phase of crypto. No, so these Fortune 500 companies are hunting for, how do they phrase this here? Or looking to explore crypto payments with a lot of different companies. Ripple could be involved. Algorand could be involved. Well, we know Ripple says that they've been talking to a lot of different companies. We know that. We've seen Theyre talking to a lot of different companies. We know that. We've seen Chainlink talking to a lot of different companies. These are the ones that don't hide it. Every once in a while, they're going to make the news. Someone's going to say something. We know. So that's why I tend to point them out more often than not, because there's proof. But so you have this proof here that is happening at a rapid pace. The other article told us. This article confirms that they're hunting right now. Why? Why is it all happening right now so fast? Huh? Never before. It didn't happen in 2024, 2023, 2022. Why now? Because crypto is about to be unleashed. And when it is, that golden age door could swing wide open. Wide open. It's not a joke. So we've experienced, let's just go through the facts. Twice already, we've experienced people's wallets exploding with capital because of crypto going off. And we knew each time. We knew it was coming. Not everybody. So when I say we, doesn't mean everybody. To each his own. But we knew. And there's another one coming. When? I don't know. I just know that this is the only place that all of these different catalysts can lead. Right now, in my humble opinion, not financial advice. I only speak for me. Make up your own mind and how you feel about things, what you're going to do. I don't control any of that. I'm only a humble researcher. But there's no, look at this, B2B. Ripple specializes in B2B. They want to streamline cross-border B2B transactions. They still haven't solved that $1 trillion problem. What do you think is going to happen if XRP is involved in that? Oh, they don't talk about it a lot anymore, do they? Doesn't mean they're not working on it. What happens if Chainlink is involved in that? Solana, Stellar. It's almost time to see. It's almost show and tell time. All right, well now let me squeeze in a little bit of Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is, and now with Bitcoin, people are not understanding the setup. And I don't mean that in a traditional way. I mean that they're rigging this. This is a setup. They played everything. They played all the people, played them for a fool, in my humble opinion. No disrespect, because they know Bitcoin is going to go off. This is why all of these big timers, despite Bitcoin going down, right? They've been buying more. Despite they've become the new dollar cost averagers. You notice that? When there's a dip, it's not about the retail people buying Bitcoin anymore. The big timers, the whales, the what do you call those people? The large asset managers, they've been buying the dip. Why? Number one, they want to make all that value off of Bitcoin and keep it to themselves, keep the majority for themselves. They saw everybody make a lot of Bitcoin money off of Bitcoin before, and they let them go. Okay, let them make that. Okay. They watched, they studied, and now they feel like it's their time. Number two, they want to control Bitcoin. I'm telling you, it's not just Bitcoin. They're going to do the same thing. Mark my words. And I could be wrong, but I believe in what I say. I stand on what I say. It's not just going to be Bitcoin. When they get the chance with XRP, and a lot of people will disagree with me on this. That's fine. I'm cool with that. That's all right. If the world spins in a circle, I want to move backwards. If everybody goes that way, I want to go this way. I'm going to walk my own path. That's just how I do. I've always been like that my entire life, and it's paid off for me. But they're going to do it with XRP. There's no way. Something so potent, something with so much respect and utility, something that could skyrocket in price. They have a private chains that they've built for XRP, but the price can't be the same. I mean, it can't be different for XRP within the private ecosystems than it is in the public. There's no way. There's no way they don't gobble up the majority of XRP. I would. Because I know all the other big companies are going to do it. But anyway, let me not talk about XRP. We're supposed to be talking about Bitcoin. But yes, Bitcoin is going to lead the way. It's going to show the archetype. Bitcoin is showing people the archetype of what's going to happen. At some point, Bitcoin will skyrocket past $150,000. That's nothing. National governments want Bitcoin. States are looking at Bitcoin reserve. Companies want Bitcoin. Regular people want Bitcoin. What? There's not enough Bitcoin to go around. That price must skyrocket. This is why you have stuff like this. People like this saying this. Arthur Hayes sees Bitcoin bottoming before equities, then surging to $250,000. Listen, and yes, you could make the argument of these people hold Bitcoin, and so they have a vested interest in promoting the idea of Bitcoin skyrocketing in hopes that people buy. But at this point right now, who are they trying to convince through these articles that you believe are going to make Bitcoin's price skyrocket? Retail? Have you talked to other retail people? Listen, I've spoken to many retail people, and it doesn't seem like they're buying enough Bitcoin to make Bitcoin's price pop. I'm just going to be honest with you. Not from what I hear. A little 50,000, 100,000 here. Come on now. That's respectable, and that's going to make some value for sure. When Bitcoin goes up for $50,000 Bitcoin, $100,000, $200,000 Bitcoin going to go up. No doubt about it. But these people are talking millions. They're looking at millions. They're looking at that price going insane based on the catalyst. It is not about this person convincing retail, because that time is over. Now it's about convincing the businesses. A lot of the businesses don't have Bitcoin yet. This is for the businesses. That's what I'm trying to say. And they can reallocate. They are desperate enough to allot large amounts of capital into Bitcoin in order to ride that wave. They're going to ride the country's wave that's going to send Bitcoin up. States, large asset managers, medium, small size businesses. Everybody's looking to ride that wave up. It's not about retail. This is not for retail. So although in the past, yeah, I could have respected that stance a lot more to say, well, these people they just looking to pump Bitcoin. I don't think that's what they need to do anymore. I don't. I don't think it's about retail anymore. So no, I don't think they're trying to reach out to retail with these things. And that's why they say this. This only works on retail. That's it. Right now, them stepping out, a lot of these original Bitcoin maximalists and OGs is really just to hold their position to say, we're here, we're staying, or they're probably going to sell a lot as well. But to say that we're not going anywhere completely, we're here. It's more about solidification of their spot, in my humble opinion. You want to be real? That's what it is, because they see that their throne is being usurped. Their crown is being taken by the companies, large asset managers, and nobody likes their time to be up. This is their way of staying relevant, but it doesn't negate the fact that they're telling, I believe, in my humble opinion, disagree, that you could disagree, that they're telling a truth, that they don't know where it's going to go. So he's saying 250,000, this concrete crystallized number. Listen, I don't know where it's going to go. I just think Bitcoin's going to skyrocket. The catalysts tell the story. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.